present. And it happened, of course, somewhere in town. I'm sure we know what I'm talking about. But today, let's start with introductory speeches. Kingston, are you ready for it?
Thank you very much, Claire. We will be having the introductory address shortly. Just to also recognize one of the dignitaries in our midst this morning is Dr. Goke Adegoroye. He's a seasoned administrator, a former Federal Permanent Secretary, and also former Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms. He's also one of the resource persons for one of the sessions that we'll be having in the course of the two-day annual conference. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure at this time to invite the Director General of the Forum of former Deputy Governors of Nigeria, Dr. Ken Ibekalu, to deliver his introductory address. Dr. Kalu is always busy to the last minute, and you can see him jogging to the microphone now. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
Your Excellencies, our special guests, and other guests that are present here, the Fourth Estate of the Realm, I want to welcome you to this program. And I'd like to stand on existing protocol. I must start by thanking God for his abundant grace that has enabled us to achieve so much since 2022, when the current leadership of the forum came on board. I must also confess that the forum has never experienced the type of steady growth and robust development in all its ramifications like now. We, in fact, have gone through from strength to strength, built strong bond among the membership that culminated in reaching out to the serving deputy governors as our associate members, who also have supported our efforts tremendously. It is heartwarming to say that the national chairman, His Excellency Chris Akoma's PhD, FNIM, must be wonderful in his commitment and resolve to take this noble forum to greater heights. Since assumption of office, he has guided the forum to make good its core mandate of providing a platform for the Nigerian stakeholders to dissect burning national issues each year by bringing together the political class, public functionaries, the diplomatic community, and the media to discuss and profile workable solutions that underpin good governance in a bid to move Nigeria forward. So far, the impact has given the forum a lot of visibility, goodwill, and attracted admiration of friends across the globe. This steady progress is behind the back of the Nigerian Polish Business Council, which will surely bring a lot of investment opportunities for both countries. The forum also carved a niche for itself within the period under review by moving to its new national secretariat in the highbrow of Maitama district to befit its rising profile, thanks to the indefatigable national chairman, His Excellency Chris Akoma's PhD, FNIM. We have as well delivered on the resolution from last year's conference to set up the renewed Hope Peer Review group, to look into the implementation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda to ensure that it is serving the interests of Nigerians. This, we believe, will help the cause of our democracy and enable the leadership to remain focused, working assiduously to ensure optimal outcomes that resonate with the needs of Nigerians. As revealed in our last year's address, The forum is working on a spectacular book that will capture the rich public service or tour of duty experiences of its members, which, all things being equal, the launch of the first volume will become former deputy governors are overlooked in terms of official assignment that benefit their status. Similarly, the forum submitted memoranda to the House of Representatives Committee on Constitutional Amendment with a view to revisit certain sections of the Constitution and deepen our democratic practice. Within the said period, the forum recognized the huge contributions of certain Nigerians to the cause of nation building and accordingly confer awards on them, tagged Nation Builders Award to rhyme with its mantra. I am indebted to our eminent leaders who have stood by us to record this series of successes in the journey so far. We are proud to be associated with your excellencies and deeply appreciate all your supports that kept us going and able to achieve giant strides this much. I wish to register my profound thanks to our esteemed members for their warm understanding of the prevailing circumstance that attend to certain call to action as they respond aptly each time to meet set targets. The milestones achieved so far are as a result of the good rapport we enjoy with the members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm. Our media friends have been always there for us, and we thank you. Whenever the need came up, at short notice, they gave us total support and delivered our coverage on time as desired. We assure you all that the forum will continue to work strong with a heightened commitment to cause by members. The forum will witness greater results, and I can only plead that we should collectively endeavor to sustain the tempo so that together we will leave lasting legacies for the next generations of Nigerians to cherish and thank us for our steadfastness and unity of purpose. I want to furthermore use this opportunity to appreciate the marvelous contributions of my backroom secretariat workforce that have kept the flame aglow in spite of challenges. In the light of the forum's growing visage, I wish to call for global partnerships with the forum to explore avenues for mutual benefits and as well tap into the rich experiences of our members to provide solutions to youth resilience, innovation, and development. We look forward to better days ahead as the forum's activities attract more attention of the political leadership and other stakeholders, thus acknowledging these worthy contributions to the quest of nation building. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you, sir. I have delivered.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ken Ibe-Kalu, the Director General of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria. Please, let's appreciate him one more time for his introductory address on this occasion. Now, if you are not immediately in the immediate vicinity of this program, and therefore you are watching us live on the various channels that are transmitting this program, it is the opening ceremony of the 4th Annual National Conference of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria. It is, as it were, a 3-in-1 event because this also marks the 15th anniversary of the forum that is having its 4th annual national conference, in the course of which there will also be the forum's Nation Builders Awards. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be watching us, at home here in Nigeria, online or elsewhere around the world, this is the Forum of Former Deputy Governors ceremony taking place here in the nation's capital of Nigeria, Abuja. Your Excellencies, let me now also respectfully invite the National Chairman of the Forum, His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Abia State, Dr. Chris Alozie Akomas, Fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management, to please deliver his welcome address.
Thank you very much for being here. Kingsley and Clay, I thank you for always making sure that you're with us. I will try not to go all the hog, because most times my speech and presentation takes more time recognizing the wonderful people that make me and members of the forum happy. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, here ably and well represented by the Deputy Governor himself, one of our most active and supportive serving Deputy Governors. You and your Governor have shown us what it means to work well together. I want to open your secret to everybody. This young man, through him, with him and our networking, Governor Zulum, whom you are all aware is one of the most performing governors, have been wonderful. And here is what Governor Zulum said about his deputy. He said, I want to confess to the gathering that my stay with the Deputy Governor in the last 6 years needs not to be overemphasized. I cherish him, and I think people from other parts of the country would come and emulate from Borno State how governors should work with their deputies. Zulum. And you cannot beat this. Chairman of this occasion, His Excellency Senator Aliu Wamako CON, who has been with us, working with us, making sure that our programs are well presented and supported. He actually had to break off some committee work last time to come and commission our secretariat. But today, exigencies of duty has made it difficult for him not to be here physically with us now. But we are happy that this conference, as he has narrated, is being chaired by no less a person than Alhaji Muhammad Megari Dengadi, the Honorable Minister for the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment. Honorable Minister, you are welcome. Your Excellencies, It will be difficult to mention all of you one by one. But I also want to recognize our keynote speaker, who has put a break to the NUGA program that he's organizing in his university to be here. Prof, we welcome you and we thank you. All our resource persons, especially my friends and former colleagues from the international development institutions and agencies. Dr. Chijojuku, it's nice to see you. I told the DG, when he said, Dr. Chijojuku, I said, that man, better put something, he's an old PhD. And they laughed. I'm happy to have you, Dr. Kamara, and my brother Chris, and your wife. I thought I learned that Mrs. Ajao is here with her husband. If you are here, I recognize you. Okay, I can see you. You're welcome. These are people that have over the time working with me outside this other environment on how best to make things happen. My brother and friend, Dr. Goke Adogoroye, you are very much welcomed. I hope that we will be able to get people in the service that will give the kind of service and professional touch you and people of your kind gave to this country. Our friends from the diplomatic corps, I want to welcome you, I commend all of you, and I want to reach you through the Polish ambassador designate, who is here with us. Mr. Ambassador, you are welcome. The deputy from Tunisia, you are welcome. And all the others that are here, the European Commission, and all the rest that I cannot remember. Senator Yaro, Anthony Yaro, my good friend, thank you. I know it was difficult, and I'm happy. Thank you for calling me when you managed to get back last night to say you'll be here. And I know it's like that with all of you. I can't just reach everybody as it should. My habitat, the main constituent, chairman of BOT, and our Baba, yeah, and all of you, my dear colleagues, both in the Board of Trustees, in the ESCO, and all that have been given the best, I recognize and welcome all of you. Sir, retired CP Balogu, I thank you for braving or you said you come to show me that you are doing well. I thank you, and I thank God for your life. Welcome, sir. I'm sorry. Much as I've said, I'm not going to run an elective contest again. Of course, I ran that of the forum yesterday, and by your support, I got elected with a number of us back to serve you for another 3 years. Thank you very much. I want to thank my good friend, brother, former Deputy National Chairman, North, Barrister Mokhtar Sheikh Shagari. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for the statesmanly approach you gave to activities and issues. Thank you very much. You know why I mentioned about not running for elective contest? I have my people that have always been there at the locality. I welcome my former DG of campaigns, Honorable Emeka Okafor. I've seen you, sir. I welcome my former chairman who stood with me, even as I said, we want to eliminate him. If you don't give way, we will take you together. He stood. Ezogo Dr. Emeka Onoha. You know, whatever we do, there is no place like home. And I have my senior brother here, who is always here. There's Sam, Chief Sam Kire. And I have my in-law that I call Oguku, good friend and former secretary to the government of Abia State, Chief Rafebu. You are welcome, sir. If I've not mentioned you specifically, it's not for lack of appreciation or recognition of what you've been doing. I have my brothers here in the media. The chairman of Enuje Abaya, Enuje Chapel. Father Parrot, I've seen you. And through you, I reach all your people. But I must basically mention Slick and Nina. Slick. Oh, well. Nina, thank you for the song and thank you for. Last year we had one. This year we have. Next year we will have another one. Better, we'll continue to improve. All of us and all of you, you are welcomed. Last year, this hall was overpacked. And so this year, we decided to take certain steps to make sure that it provides as much comfort as it should be. So I will now say, our dear friends in the media, the security, and others, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I, on behalf of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria, welcome you all to this 4th Annual National Conference. With great humility and profound gratitude, I stand before you at this point, this important point in nation building conference. Our gathering here is a further call for action, a reminder that the destiny of our great nation rests not in the hands of few, but in the collective resolve of all citizens. Nation building is not a sprint. It is a continuous process. It is the daily work of aligning our diverse strengths, cultures, and aspirations into a common purpose. At the heart of this process lies one indispensable ingredient, a shared vision. This is the story of FFDGN. The forum was founded by visionaries who saw today this 4th National Conference is an attestation to our noble founders who knew that Nigeria will need this platform to constantly engage in refined, unbiased discourse to deliberate on approaches to enhance sustainable growth, unity of purpose, efficient and effective socioeconomic development. The first annual national conference was held in October 2022 at Ibom Hotel and Golf Resorts, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, with the theme Nation Building in Challenging Times. I must add that at that time you will agree with me that it was a challenging time for our nation, working towards the next election in 2023. Hence, we worked, deliberated, and our resolutions was around the issue of nation building in challenging times. In October 2023, the second annual National Conference and Summit for serving deputy governors was held at Fraser Suites, Central Business District, Abuja. The theme was partnering in the shared vision for good governance and sustainable development. Then came October 2024. The third annual National Conference was held with the theme Strategic Solutions for Good Governance, Food Security, and Sustainable Growth in Nigeria. Today, we gather under the timely and thought-provoking theme, Boosting Nigeria's Productive Capacity for National Growth and Self-Reliance. The role of leadership, industry, and innovation in policy implementation. This resonates deeply with the realities of our nation at this pivotal point of our development journey. Nigeria is blessed with immense human and natural resources. Yet, our challenge has never been the absence of potential, but rather how best to harness and translate that potential into tangible growth, sustainable wealth, and improved quality of life for our people. To do this, we must strengthen leadership at all levels, empower industry to thrive, and embrace innovation as the driving force of modern economies. This conference, therefore, is not just another gathering of minds, but a platform for collaboration and practical recommendations. It is an opportunity for government, private sector leaders, innovators, and civil society to jointly explore strategies for accelerating industrial productivity, fostering innovation, and ensuring that leadership delivers results through efficient and effective policy implementation. Leadership, industry, innovation, and civic responsibility must converge in a ground coalition of purpose. Our leaders must embody integrity and foresight. Our industries must be productive and globally competitive. Our innovators must be empowered to create solutions. And every citizen must embrace the spirit of patriotism, discipline, and shared vision and sacrifice for nation building and development. The gathering today is not just for speeches, but also for ideas, meeting of minds, and hopefully the birthplace of enduring partnership and collaborations. Let us live here not only with resolutions, but also with renewed determination to live out the values of unity, equity, and responsibility in our daily lives. On the part of FFDGN, We have been working within our system to enhance productivity. Hence, we incorporated the Sustainable Cocoa Initiative, an NGO, into 2017 to work with other stakeholders in organized manner to enhance increase in cocoa production and value chain. I hope that the audience and many Nigerians will recall and know that cocoa used to be one of our highest foreign earning source, and that 14 states of the country have the capacity and are able to produce cocoa, to grow and produce cocoa. And we are still hoping that that will happen. I'm happy that some of those who have worked tirelessly along this effort, including those that worked towards the effort under the service and tenure of our dear friend, Dr. Adeshina, when he was Minister of Agriculture. We remember all the efforts made to have the National Nigerian Cocoa Corporation established. Let no one despair. Let us not think it's over. We'll continue to push on. And one day, it will be good too. I firmly believe that the outcomes of our deliberations will contribute meaningfully to national discourse and provide effective solutions towards building a self-reliant Nigeria. One, where our industries favorably compete globally, as I said earlier, our youths are encouraged and challenged to come up with groundbreaking innovations, and our leadership is accountable to the aspirations of the people. On behalf of FFDGN, I appreciate and thank our chairman, especially His Excellency Senator Liu Wamako, CON, our distinguished speakers and resource persons, and all participants for committing time and expertise to this noble cause. Your presence here is a testament to your shared belief in Nigeria's brighter future. Let us approach these sessions ahead with open minds, constructive dialogue, and collective resolve to ensure that our ideas move beyond this hall into real policies and actions that will transform our nation. I want to drop a special word about the FFDGN, and I say, may I conclude this address by saying that in FFDGN you find love for one another, love for country, patriotism, dedication, experience, knowledge, understanding, expertise, maturity, reliability, character, professionalism, networking, friendship, partnership, cooperation, collaboration, sacrifice, and unity of purpose for nation building and development. Let me use this opportunity to invite genuine, serious, willing business people, entrepreneurs, to visit our Polish Nigeria Business Council Center, where we have a show and the products from Poland are showcased. I told the ambassador in Lagos when we were going around with the deputy governor, Dr. Hamzat, and others, a number of products, a number of things, and the business people came. And then I picked one particular one. And I said, the FFDGN would do a prototype on that. And we look forward to do that because it's wonderful. It's a technology that is very, very wonderful. Let me not, go further, but we'll be proud to get that because good a thing, the raw materials, like I asked those who came with it, I say, hey, we have seen this, we have seen the wonders that in 5 hours you can build this and do that. And do this. But the raw materials for this, is it available in Nigeria? The response is available everywhere and is in abundance in Nigeria. I say, good. When you come and we have the prototype set, we will tell our people that this is here, and you come here with your technology to produce it in Nigeria with our own raw materials so that we can really have the full benefit of it and have the cost effectiveness that we follow. Once again, I welcome you warmly and wish us a fruitful deliberation. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please, with hearts of appreciation, hands of applause, let's put our hands together for the steady hands that stirs the wheel of this forum to greatness. You know, true leadership does not just lay foundation and leaves. True leader lays foundation, returns to reinforce the foundation to ensure that the structure not only stands, but is standing tall and stronger. And that's the stuff His Excellency Chief Chris Alozie Akomas is made of. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a clear indication that when leadership performs, even the ballot smiles back. True of us, when leadership performs, what does ballot do? It smiles back. Or is it leadership repeated? Anyway, let's put our hands together. Congratulations, Your Excellency. We will be taking some goodwill messages right now. You know what they say about goodwill messages. It's the only language that the deaf and the dumb, the deaf hears and the dumb knows. The language of kindness, the language of goodwill. So if you give a dose of goodwill messages, it echoes back to you, double portion, and in wonderful ways. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we now listen to some words of encouragement for the Forum of Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria. And again, I'll call Kingsley. We will start with while Kingsley, and while they are working at it, let me quickly take some recognitions. I have, I'm trying to get this pronunciation right, is Michał Tisan. Michał Tisan, that's the ambassador designate of Poland. Did I get it right? Michał Tisan. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Engineer Abubakar Liu, CON, former Deputy Governor of Yobe State. Your Excellency, Thank you very much. Okay, I also have CP retired, Olayinka Balogun. He's also here with us. CP retired. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Emeka Okafor. Emeka is also here. Yes, you've been recognized earlier on. Thank you. Ezego Emeka Onoha, former Commissioner Environment, Abia State. You've also been recognized. Please, thank you. I also want to recognize members of my jurisdiction, members of the Fourth Estate of the Ram, especially the NTA crew, TVC, I see you. AIT, I also see you. Other media houses here present, thank you very much for the good work you're doing. Kingsley is here for the goodwill messages. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire, for the recognitions. And just to add, from the mic logos that we have on the podium, that channels Kaftan TV, AIT, and Arise are also here amongst us, plus, of course, the gentlemen from the print and online media. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will have two goodwill messages. Two goodwill messages. I would just need to clarify one or two items on the program so that we gain in time and speed. So, Your Excellencies, let me clarify something from the National Chairman of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors. So, Your Excellencies, the conference chairman, of course, is the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, and his hands are full. We all picked up the story in the news. Was it yesterday or so? The Association of Resident Doctors are threatening an all-out strike from the beginning of November. So it has some not exactly firefighting. I mean, you'll be working on this for a while. Therefore, he wanted to bring forward his own presentation on this occasion. We'd like to crave your indulgence, Conference Chair, and Your Excellencies, that we take the goodwill messages, because thereafter, of course, we'll have the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, representing Senator Aliu Wamako, deliver the conference chairman's speech, and thereafter have the formal opening of the two-day conference. So, two goodwill messages will be taken, and for brevity, 2 minutes. That's 120 seconds each. May I invite the Ambassador-designate of Poland to Nigeria, Michal Sigan, to give his goodwill message. And after that, the representative of the Inspector General of Police. Please, let's welcome the Ambassador-designate of Poland to Nigeria, Michal Sigan, for his goodwill message. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, honorable guests, members of the Forum of the Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria. I am lucky that the protocol has been so perfectly established that it allows me to stand on it comfortably. Otherwise, 2 minutes would not be enough just to take the first breath and mention all the excellencies just sitting in the front row, let alone the rest of the dignitaries present here. It's my profound honor to be here in front of you and seeing that Poland has been chosen as as a strategic partner of the forum and of Nigeria. I have just started on my way to promote and deepen Polish-Nigerian relations, and this is our extreme privilege that Poland is now at the focus of Nigerian elites and Nigerian business. And yes, we are a good choice. We are a friend of Nigeria, and we are a country that has been in constant growth for almost 4 decades now, since our transformation, and since we have a very good, relevant living experience to share with you, with all business partners, and every entity and community that is willing to work hard to achieve this progress. Poland has a diverse economy. We have just now entered this elite club of $1 trillion economies, and we very much cheer for Nigeria on its path to successful fulfillment of President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, so that Nigeria takes its right place among the countries that are in the lead of progress, of prosperity, good governance, and self-reliance, as has been rightly chosen as a theme of this year's 4th conference. For the brevity of time, I will stop here only to reinforce my message, not just of goodwill, but of strong commitment that for all of you, we are here as a good, reliable partner that will help Nigeria progress in all fields: social, economic, security, every other field that Nigeria deserves. Thank you very much once again.
All right, thank you very much, Ambassador Designate, for the goodwill message. I'm sure that once your letters of credence are presented, you'll have the opportunity of working on a number of issues. Ambassador Designate, I don't remember the last time we had the Polish leader visit Nigeria. But when Obasanjo, General Obasanjo, as he then was head of state, Wojciech Jaruzelski was here in Nigeria. And we also had a technical cooperation agreement where young Nigerians were sent to Poland, Romania, and other East European countries for technical training. So after Jaruzelski, I'm not quite sure. 3 years ago. Thank you very much for reminding me. It's Jaruzelski that is still in my head. So thank you very much, Ambassador Designate of Poland to Nigeria. And by the way, just to re-emphasize one of the points made by the national chairman of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors, at least twice in his opening address, he did say that, come to our secretariat where you find the Nigeria Police Center. He said that with a great deal of pride, because only 3 weeks ago, on the 9th of this month, the forum moved into its new secretariat in Maitama. Of course, the attendance wasn't as large as it is, but we need to give a round of applause to the forum because their new location is accessible, is the right address, and it's a place they are, of course, doubly proud of to have as their secretariat. The second and last of the goodwill messages this morning will be coming from the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kehinde Egbetokun. He has a PhD in mathematics, but is being represented here by the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7, Victor Olaya. It's Victor Olaya. Well, and for those of us who are not so young, I'm sure you know Victor Olaya. Dr. Victor Olaya was a great trumpeter, high life maestro. Any relationship with Victor Olaya? Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome the son of the music maestro, Dr. Victor Olaya, who is an Assistant Inspector General of Police, here representing the Inspector General of Police on this occasion. Congratulations. Maybe we'll have one of his beats after you speak. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your Excellencies, and we have many, quite a number, Your Excellencies, the diplomatic community, our own Commissioner of Police, Yinka Balogun, CP retired, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I first want to congratulate the FFDGN for it's a good job. The IGP, the entire police force, we are proud of you, sir. We are proud of you. And on this note, I'll just quickly go to the goodwill message of the Inspector General of Police. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of duty that I extend my warm goodwill message to the Forum of former Deputy Governors of Nigeria on the occasion of the 4th National Conference. This gathering reflects an enduring commitment to nation building and the continuous search for pathways to sustainable growth and self-reliance in our dear country. The chosen theme, boosting Nigeria's productive capacity for national growth and self-reliance, the role of leadership, industry, and innovation in policy implementation could not be more timely. It captures the essence of our national aspirations, one where visionary leadership, industrial advancement, and creative innovation work hand in hand to translate policies into tangible progress. As a nation, our productivity and self-reliance depend not only on the abundance of our natural and human resources, but also on the quality of governance, the integrity of leadership, and the security of our environment. The Nigerian Police reaffirms a steadfast partnership in this pursuit. We recognize that peace and security are the bedrock upon which all other sectors of national development thrive. In this regard, the Nigerian Police continues to advance reforms aimed at building a modern, citizen-focused, and intelligence-driven policy system, one that provides the stability necessary for industries to flourish, innovators to emerge, and policies to be effectively implemented. I commend the Forum of former Deputy Governors of Nigeria for sustaining this platform of dialogue, reflection, and policy advocacy. Your wealth of experience and continued contribution to national discourse are invaluable assets in shaping and secure Nigeria. On behalf of the Nigerian Police Force, I, as IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, congratulate the organizers and participants of this conference and wish you fruitful deliberations that will yield actionable outcomes for the growth and progress of our nation. Thank you, and God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Please let's appreciate CP Olaya, Victor Olaya. Please let's appreciate the band for honoring the peaceful soul of late Victor Olaya. Today we see CP Victor Olaya, a carbon copy, retired, a carbon copy. Thank you very much. And by the way, that tune used to be one of my favorites. And it's talking about Omokupa. Omokupa is a white lady. White lady. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You know, gatherings and conversations like this will need a compass. Someone who will steer the direction of the conversation to the right path. And after, meandering, that mantle fell on one person today. And that person is the Honorable Minister of Labor and Productivity. As the conference chair, I will be inviting him to give the conference remarks. Please, let's put our hands together for Honorable Minister of Labor and Productivity, Mohammed Maygaridin Yadi, CON, to give us the conference chairman's remarks. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. In the name of God, the Beneficent and the Most Merciful, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, ably represented by his deputy, Alhaji Umar Kadafur. Your Excellency, the chairman of this very great forum, Dr. Chris Alozi, whom I regard as our chief host. Your Excellency, Dr. Malik Muhammad, the chairman board of trustees of the forum. Your Excellency, my Deputy Governor, Sheikh Mutari Shehu Shagari, former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, and Deputy Chairman of the Forum North, Alhaji Kasim Bolaro, Deputy National Chairman, Forum South. Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors here present. Of course, out of my relationship with the person I'm representing here today, I have been very fortunate to know quite a number of the Deputy Governors that are here present today. Not just because of the relationship, because of the fact that I was also a secretary to the government of Sokoto State at that time, and I worked with quite a number of you people. I'm very happy to meet you. I can see my sister, who was my colleague, the former Minister of Women Affairs. When I was the Minister of Police Affairs, we worked together with her. I can also see Engineer Abubakar, the former Minister of Power. We were together with him. I can also see a classmate and a friend, Professor Onji, former Deputy Governor of Nasarawa, and of course, my DG from NDE. He was just coming here. I cannot see him. Okay, yes. I welcome you, former Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State. Quite a number of you are very well known and we have interacted. I can see the former Governor of Plateau State. I welcome you all and I greet you very sincerely. Distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. As you are aware, or as amply mentioned by the Master of Ceremony, I am here representing one of your colleagues, the chairman of this occasion, Dr. Aliyu Magatakarda Wamako Sarkiyama Sokoto, former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, and subsequently the Governor of Sokoto State. I'm here to represent him, and I'm therefore just here to read his address as amply prepared by him. He was to come here, but unfortunately, due to other very important legislative functions, he could not make it. And just a little after 10 o'clock yesterday, he called me and asked me to represent him. And I am here representing him, and I'm going to read his speech without any amendment as it has been given to me. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I feel highly honored to address this noble gathering of eminent persons that truly have the interest of building a united and prosperous Nigeria at heart. I am indeed elated because in 1999, I was part of a team then serving as deputy governor that made a move to form an umbrella body for our common interests. Unfortunately, that dream was cut short as our then principals thought we could become a threat to them and tactfully truncated the initiative. So it gladdens my heart a lot that the same vision has been nurtured, and today we have a forum of deputy governors of Nigeria that has steadily warmed itself into the hearts of Nigeria through quality contributions to the cause of good governance and nation building. I really commend the giant strides of the present leadership of the forum, and from what I have witnessed in this new secretariat to the turnout of this well-packaged conference, I am convinced that the commitment and zeal will continue to grow to a point where it will attain the center stage of national political development. In the light of insight so far displayed, I have no doubt that the forum will attract more global partners to tap the vast resources at our disposal in order to achieve quantum leap towards becoming a robust and resilient economy of our dream. I want to assure my colleagues of this noble forum that they can count on my support for any bill that the forum may want to sponsor in a bid to strengthen its work and advance the pace of good governance in Nigeria. It is necessary that there should be a shared vision and work plan designed and agreed upon mutually so as to build trust, confidence and pave way for better development at the subnational levels in the country. With the area of resource persons here present today, I am confident that at the end of this conference, we will be able to come up with very actionable solutions to revitalize our moribund industrial base, which is key to our aspiration of emerging as a prosperous, self-reliant nation, able to hold itself in all respects. I want to register my profound appreciation to the friends of the forum and corporate bodies who over time have been supporting and contributing to the growth and development activities of the forum. We should keep it up, as such efforts have resulted in the forum's members getting more political appointments, which underscores the fact that government appreciates your sacrifices and contribution toward the development of our dear nation. The present government has taken bold steps to unbundle our economy with a view to reduce waste, open vast opportunities for all Nigerians to feel a sense of belonging and explore more in order to be useful citizens pursuing worthwhile lives without let or hindrance. I'm happy to be identified with the progress of this forum and urge us all to continue to give necessary support that will help it to work stronger in its noble task of spearheading incisive programs that impact greatly on Nigerians. With these few remarks, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular and honor to declare this conference open. I thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, representing the conference chair, distinguished Senator Wamako, who himself is also a former deputy governor and former governor of Sokoto State. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, please, let's give a round of applause to the conference chair for formally declaring the two-day conference open. I earlier indicated that the conference chair, who has been represented, and that his representative, of course, is pressed for time. But, Honorable Minister, we would like to crave your indulgence still if we can snatch a minute or two of your time. And permit me, therefore, to immediately recognize in our midst the incumbent Deputy Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Ikechukwu Emetu. Please let's welcome His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Abia State. We have coming up next the Forum of Former Deputy Governors Nation Builders Awards. Now, this has been introduced by the forum, recognize and of course appreciate the hard work and also the contributions of persons or entities to national development. There are, for purposes of the Nation Builders Awards today, 3 recipients. And the first of the awardees is His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum. And this award is in recognition of his innovative and ingenious strategy of providing adequate security for farmers to and from their farms. And this has averted famine in the state. It's also working tirelessly in this regard, in this respect, to ensure food security by visiting flashpoints and boosting the morale of state actors in their sustained fight against insurgency in the state and elsewhere. So, His Excellency Professor Babagana Zulum has been tapped as one of the 3 awardees on this occasion. His Excellency Professor Babagana Zulum has been represented by his deputy, His Excellency Umar Usman. Your Excellency, please kindly come forward. And may we have a note of appreciation from the band. Here. Your Excellency, I just... The second awardee is not Her Excellency Dame Pauline Taleno. It's not Her Excellency just here too. She's making the presentation. She's making the presentation. And probably she came up a bit too early. We wanted to call it 3 awardees, but that's fine. Your Excellency. You invited her. Oh, fantastic, Your Excellency. So that's the first awardee represented, and the presenter, of course, the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State. The second awardee is A.D. Konapio, is the CEO. A.D. Konapio is the CEO of a firm known as Woolen Synthetic Textile Manufacturing Limited. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Now, this firm is based in Lagos. A.D. Konapio is the CEO, and the firm produces 100% cotton towels. And the firm also produces uniforms for all military and paramilitary agencies in Nigeria. The company was incorporated in 1968. All right, so again, we back up a bit. The national chairman of the forum would like the awardees to take theirs one after the other, as we say, seriatim. And therefore, we go back to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum. And the award is in recognition of his innovative and ingenious strategy of providing adequate security for farmers to and from their farms and ensuring food security thereby, and by also visiting several flashpoints and boosting the morale of state actors in their sustained fight against insurgency in the state and in neighboring locations. Your Excellency, Professor Zulum is being represented by his able deputy, His Excellency Umar Usman. Then the award will be presented by Pauline Tallen, Her Excellency, former Deputy Governor of Plateau State and former Honorable Minister of Women Affairs.
Thank you, Kingsley. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors in Nigeria, we present to you this Nation Builders Award 2025 to our very dear Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, in recognition of your iconic leadership towards ensuring food security in Borno State, is hereby conferred with the 2025 FFDG and Nation Builders Award in the category of Innovation and Productivity Award. Congratulations and God bless.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Dame Paul and Talent, for doing us the honor of presenting this Golden Award to Governor of Borno State. And indeed, Governor Zulum is a wonderful, or should I say, has been a very wonderful and trusted leader. Yes. And this award was given in recognition for his innovative and ingenious strategy of providing adequate security for farmers to and from their farms. Again, ingenious strategy of providing adequate security for farmers to and from their farms. Now, what did this do? It averted looming famine in the state, and not just in the state, at large Nigeria. It ensured that food security and severally visiting flashpoints which boosted morale of the state actors to sustain the fight against insurgency in the region. Your Excellency, thank you very much. The next award will be presented by
I think I have to come in here. I was telling Kingsley that he has used English grammar to state these things in such a way that it looks so simple. What the forum considered is the innovation, the fact that the governor thought of how best to make food production continue, to ensure that farming is sustained. He developed a system of providing buses for the farmers and the security for the farmers as they go to farm. They go with the buses, with the security. The people will wait for them there. They will farm. They'll bring them back. And that constant. It's a new thing. And the forum continued to monitor, and we have received the reports of improved harvest, improved yield, and we are happy. What we want is anything that will increase productivity, and that is one of them. Food security, you know, was our focus last year. We are having a governor who do not only provide these things that came up with that innovation, but most times he will go and visit them there to give confidence. We are happy and proud of him and seeing this out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, we are very proud. Governor Zulum, wherever you are, please, can we put our hands together once again for the ingenious governor? The next recipient is A.D. Konapure. Of course, he's the CEO, Woolen and Synthetic Textile Manufacturing Limited. It was incorporated in 1968, and this award will be presented by His Excellency, the Engineer Ikechukwu Emetu, Deputy Governor of Abia State. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Abia State, will be making this presentation. And while he is coming out gently, I'll quickly give you a rundown of while this recipient got this award. Woolen synthetic textile was conceived to produce fine and superfine worsted and synthetic suiting materials. Today, it has evolved as an acclaimed brand in the Nigerian textile industry market for all types of suiting, shirting, mattress covers, 100% cotton towels, bed sheets, uniforms, the Nigerian Army, Air Force, Navy. I thought you put our hands together. Paramilitary agencies such as Nigerian Correctional Service, the Nigerian Police, Immigration Service, and so on and so forth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together again for CEO of Woolen and Synthetic Textile Manufacturing Limited, Ikeja in Lagos, A.D. Konafure. And to present the award.
Yeah, thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let me align on the well-established protocol. On behalf of the Forum of the Formal Deputy Governors of Nigeria, I hereby present this very meritorious award to Woolen Synthetic Textile Manufacturing Limited as the Nation Builders Award of 2025 in recognition of your promotion of Nigerian first drive in textile industry is hereby conferred with the FFD-GN Nations Builders Award in the category of Textile Productivity Award on this very special day, being the 28th day of October 2025. Congratulations to you, sir.
Another round of applause for Woolen Synthetic Textile Manufacturing Limited. A.D. Konafure is the Chief Executive Officer. And it's interesting that the firm was incorporated in 1968. Of course, 1968 was a significant year for companies incorporation because that was the year we had a new companies code. That's the same thing as what you call KAMA now. We didn't have another one until the Babangida years in 1990. And then, of course, only a couple of years ago, we had a new Companies and Allied Matters Act. And it's good news that we are having 100% towels being produced and fabrics also for our service personnel being produced in country. I'm sure we all know how challenging it is if you do not have 100% cotton for your towels, and then you're trying to mop up your body after a shower. Always a big challenge. So congratulations to the firm, and also appreciation from the Forum of Former Deputy Governors for recognizing this enterprise and what it is doing. Let me also now invite the third awardee for the event, and that is Agro Traders Limited. Agro Traders Limited. It was a company founded in 1991, and it began with 400 tons of cocoa in its first season, and we understand it's now exporting over 20,000 tons of cocoa beans annually. Let's give the firm a round of applause. And it is known for its meticulous control of all produce passing through its stores. And it holds the UTZ certification, and this has been sold since 2012 for ensuring sustainable and ethical sourcing. It's a member of the World Cocoa Foundation, supporting farmers' welfare and industry development. The Forum of Former Deputy Governors is recognizing the firm for its responsible and reliable supply of high-grade Nigerian cocoa beans. Agro Traders Limited. Who is standing in for the firm? Going to the washroom.
Agro Traders, that's wonderful. To present the award is the ambassador designate, Polish Embassy here in Abuja, His Excellency Ambassador Zizgan. Your Excellency, I hear in Poland, there is every soup for every mood. In Poland, you have soup for every mood. I learned that you have the Zurex or the Rosso, and it's just like the egusi and pepper soup. But the only difference is the person that is preparing both soup. Your Excellency, am I right? Thank you.
Well, the only soup we don't have is the cocoa soup.
The cocoa soup.
That is in the waiting.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, governors, former deputy governors, once again, I'm very privileged to be here as representing Poland and agricultural potency. It has a special meaning that I can hand this award in the category of cocoa processing and productivity to Agro Traders Limited. My sincere congratulations and, well, full speed ahead for the agricultural production in Nigeria.
So, Your Excellencies, we will, after this final presentation, Your Excellencies, we'll take some photographs. The three awardees only, first, three awardees, 1, 2, 3. Professor Zulum represented, and Woolen. Please come with your plaque if you have it. Yes, come with your plaque. And then Agro Traders, three awardees, and then the presenters of the awards, the Deputy Governor of Abia State. His attention is needed right here. We would also invite the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Forum to join in the photograph, and then the Chairman of the conference, the Honorable Minister of Labor, to also be part of the photo. I think that the awardees should be in the middle, actually. We can't flush them to one side, Your Excellency. Yes. Okay. Are we good with this photo shoot? All right, so Your Excellencies, we will now take, Your Excellencies, a group photograph of Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors who are here present, and other invited guests. Please join in the group photograph. I'm seeing just now His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Honorable Philip Shuaibu. Honorable Shuaibu, what is happening to Bendel Insurance? I've not been playing for them again. Some of the, we would need some to, Your Excellency, Philip Shuaibu, I was asking what's happening. You want to probe Institute of Sports. Deal with Bendel Insurance first, too. Yes, Scott, and then get ready for the keynote
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. We have something that will interest you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to Walter Lippmann, the American renowned writer and political scientist, he captured the essence of culture that I always cherished, that I always recall. And he said, culture is simply the name of what people are interested in. He said it is their thoughts, their models, the book they read, and the speeches they love to hear. So bottom line, culture is our way of life. And truly, you can't know a people until you've seen them dance. Have you seen Nigerians dance? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's get ready to meet Nigeria in her most expressive form through dance and rhythm.
Your Excellencies, special invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, please let's give another round of applause to the cultural troupe for the short but impactful performance that we've had. We will recognize some of the dignitaries who are here in our midst, and some who are also members of the forum. His Excellency Patrick Ekpotu, former Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Please let's give him a round of applause. He was deputy to the incumbent President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. Let's also recognize His Excellency Amobayo Marvelous. Amobayo Marvelous. Amobayo Marvelous. All right, so thank you very much for being around. Yeah. All right, Your Excellency, Honorable Philip Shuaibu, Honorable Philip Shuaibu, Honorable Philip Shuaibu, the National Chairman of the Forum, is all right, so while that is being sorted out, Your Excellencies, let me recognize, as provided by the Secretariat for this conference, the former Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, His Excellency Senator Hassan Mohammed Guzo. Please let's welcome His Excellency Hassan Guzo, former Deputy Governor of Zamfara State. It's interesting. I think when things like this happen, then you get a few ideas. Maybe we may have to reestablish the bona fides of whoever is in the hall here. But obviously, everyone is here with positive intentions, and we also are law-abiding, and so we follow due process. The former Deputy Governor of Old Benue State, His Excellency Sule Iyaji. All right, so please let's give him a round of applause. Old Benue State, His Excellency Sule Iyaji. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a hard copy of the program, there are also soft copies available. You would have noticed that we are supposed to have two chairmen, chairman and the co-chair. And it turned out that one of the chairmen wasn't immediately available. And the chairman, who was in situ in a representative capacity, had fought until a moment ago after the photo sessions. He had also delivered the chairman's remarks and declared the conference open. But I have some information. I have not confirmed exactly what happened, but my source, should I say sources now, because that means I double-checked, but my sources indicate that there seemed to have been some miscommunication between the chairman and his staff. So not between the secretariat of the forum and the chairman, but between the chairman and his staff. I'm sure there will be some query awaiting those staff when you get back home. They advised him that the program will be tomorrow instead of today. And that's why when they then tried to reach him, it was difficult at first, but eventually they reached him and is here with us. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure at this time to invite for his own remarks, because he holds this forum in high esteem and is the chairman also of this conference, the 4th Annual National Conference of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors. Distinguished Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, former President of the Senate of the Federal Republic, and also former Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Please, let's welcome him with a much louder round of applause to the microphone and to the podium.
Your Excellencies, more particularly the chairman of this forum, Your Excellencies, the serving deputy governors, then former deputy governors, Your Excellency, the police ambassador to Nigeria, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank the MC for trying to make excuses for me, but actually it would have been most regrettable if I am not able to make it to this event, because I look forward to it. And like he tried to say, the fact is that my office programmed me for tomorrow for this event, and today was another event. So I went for that other event until I saw your message that the event has started, and I had to cut off from there to be here, and I thank God I am here. Let me therefore sincerely apologize for the mix-up, for my late coming, and also be thankful to God that I am able to make the event. I'm also very grateful that my co-chairman had actually been here and held forth. I'm more so that he had opened the event with an address. But maybe let me simply identify with him with a short address. And I am quite delighted to share a few thoughts on what I think your forum had become. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly delighted to be part of the 4th Annual Conference of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors, focusing as always on topical and critical elements in nation building. I was told that in the past, your conference teams included the following: nation building in challenging times, partnering in the shared vision for good governance and sustainable development, strategic solution to good governance, food security, and sustainable growth in Nigeria. And this year's conference theme is boosting Nigeria's productive future for effective national growth and self-reliance, harnessing leadership, industry, and innovation for effective policy implementation. Let me start by saying that of all former national office holders fora, the former Deputy Governors Forum appear to have become the most focused, most productive, and most impactful in their contributions to our efforts in nation building. I am not sure there is any former office holders forum that had been so engaging with topical and critical national issues as this forum. And it is therefore my pleasure to use this opportunity to congratulate the chairman and members of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors for your steadfastness and patriotic commitment to nation building. Speaking on this year's theme, I am to say that the imperative of productive economy was never lost on the various governments of Nigeria since 1960. This is because at times when people talk about productive economy today, it will appear as if it's a new idea. And it is to my knowledge that since 1960, it had been the concern of every government in Nigeria. The resurgence of the clamor for productive economy through industrialization today only underscores the economic and social setbacks the nation has suffered due to failed attempts on industrialization. It is instructive to point out that at the core of the first National Development Plan of 1962 to 1968, and indeed the subsequent rolling plans, including the Indigenization Decree of 1977, were policies to encourage and facilitate industrialization. These efforts yielded great results in the 80s as industrial clusters and activities became prominent in various parts of the country. Example, Bompai in Kano, Kakuri in Kaduna, Onitsha in Anambra State, Aba in Abia State, Ikeja in Lagos State, and so on. I am to say that the collapse of these efforts is not as a result of lack of knowledge of its benefits, particularly its benefits for job creation and economic stability. It is my opinion that the following, among many other factors, were at the root of the problem. I also know that today we look at certain surface issues, more particularly present issues, as being the real issues that had set us back. But I think there are more fundamental issues. And if we don't address those fundamental issues, it will appear as if we are putting block on no foundation. So we need to look, I thought I should highlight just 3 critical foundational issues we must also look at and in fact seek to address them in order to actually resurrect and enhance our productivity through industrialization. One of such factors is the military coup and counter-coup of 1966. The most outstanding consequence of the 66 coup is that it dislocated our sense of nationalism and national aspiration, promoted ethnicity and nepotism. The military incursion into power has also dislocated our sense of value, weakened the rule of law, and inculcated greed and recklessness in public office. I want to say very clearly that without a national vision, without a national aspiration, not just national vision as articulated in any paper, I mean shared vision accepted by all, it will be difficult to enhance patriotism. And without patriotism, you can't build a nation. I make bold to say that productive economic progress is usually as a result of sustained commitment to national aspiration. It is a commitment that transcends change of government. A situation where policy inconsistency is occasioned by ethnicity, nepotism, corruption, and above all, lack of adequate sense of patriotism to drive national vision and aspiration cannot deliver on productive economy. There must be that foundation that as a nation, we have the commitment, both the leaders and the led, that this is where we want our nation to be in the nearest future. And it is in the best interest of everybody. Once this is inculcated in us, then you will find out that understanding of policies, both the pains and the benefits of each policies, will be a lot much easier and across border, and everybody will commit to deliver that. So our journey to productive economic well-being, therefore, we have to start with rebuilding our sense of nationalism, benchmarking our national aspiration to achieve economic renaissance, and then a collective commitment to rebuilding our nation on the path of patriotism and rule of law. And I believe that if we're able to reset this foundation, then it will be a lot much easier for us to understand the policy direction of government, because that policy direction obviously will be in the overall interest of the nation, focusing on a national vision that everybody shares from. Another factor that I think led to the collapse of our industrial progress is the factor on the other side, it could have been an advantage or a boost to it, but it turned the other around. The other factor is the oil boom of the 70s, which raised our taste for foreign-made goods as status symbol. Accordingly, import licensing was quick to replace local production. It is evident that local products are generally regarded as inferior goods, and the ability to afford foreign-made goods, on the other hand, are matters for those who have arrived. I am sure of us that came here today came on a locally made vehicle. And if the market is not there, then who invests to sustain losses? So it is evident that local products are generally regarded as inferior goods, and the ability to afford foreign-made goods, on the other hand, are matters for those who have arrived. It is the market that stimulates production. A situation where we cannot patronize locally made goods, how do you encourage investors to plunge into losses? In this regard, effort must be made to encourage the taste for locally made goods as a mark of national pride and as a commitment to secure our future. Finally, Nigeria signing on to the World Trade Organization agreement in December 1994 was another major factor that had collapsed our industrial effort. The World Trade Organization agreement encouraged globalization and trade liberalization, resulting in our economy becoming a dumping ground for cheap goods from abroad, particularly as our underdeveloped infrastructure could not compete with efficient and more cost-effective production systems of the developed world. And I know, and I encourage us, more particularly as it were, that the World Trade Organization agreement had almost collapsed. You find out that every country is going back to itself to actually hold back its economy into its own hand and build it to what it wants it to be. But I know that when we signed into the World Trade Organization, we signed in on about December 1994, and it took effect in 1995, early 1995. Then foreign goods were flooded into the country, and that's when the textile industries in Kakuri collapsed. That's when most of the industries in Ikeja collapsed. That's when collapsed. In fact, that's when most of our industrial progress actually collapsed. Because I remember one day asking one garment producer in Aba, why wouldn't you go back to what you were doing before? Because he had closed. He said, look, if you produce at 5 naira per garment and somebody imports to sell at 2 naira per garment, then there is just no way you can compete with that person. And that's what it was. So most industries had to collapse because they could not compete. And if we don't protect our economy, there is no way it can actually withstand a more cost-effective production environment abroad, to actually deliver on the expectations of the market. So there is no gainsaying that every successful local economy not not only enjoy policy protection, but also enjoy competitive production environment. If you must expect quick turnaround in local production, we must protect our market. We must enhance our infrastructure. We must secure our environment, and so on. I have chosen to highlight just these 3 points only because we have guest speaker who will do justice to the theme of the day. However, I think that the way to go is to acknowledge that our national institutions and our sense of patriotism have been seriously weakened. Therefore, we need to accept the fact that there is no magic that can reverse our economic weakness overnight. It will be misleading for anybody to think that it is a simple task to revise our economic misfortunes. For any meaningful respite to be achieved in a record time, we need the concerted effort of our leaders and the people to commit to a renewed determination to reposition our country on the path that will implant patriotism in the citizens, without which every industrial policy of any government whatsoever will be sabotaged and it will not work. Our people must resolve to accommodate the pains of bold efforts at redirecting our nation, and our leaders must be intentional at rebuilding our nation. This approach worked for China. It worked in Singapore. It worked in Vietnam. It can work for us. Let me therefore use this opportunity to call on all well-meaning citizens of our dear country to support the efforts of President Tinubu's administration to reposition our country on the path of economic renaissance and economic growth. Welcome you all.
Please let's put our hands together again for distinguished Senator Aim Pius Aim, former President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria during the 5th National Assembly. His name alone rings with purpose, steady, balanced, and of course, resonates like the man himself. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're gradually moving to the critical period, and that's the time to take our keynote address. But before then, let me quickly take these recognitions. Engineer Dauda Musa, FNSE, Executive Committee Member, representing President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala, FNSE. Please, can we put our hands together? Thank you, sir. Let me also quickly acknowledge Professor Onje Gie Wado, former Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, who also is a BOT member. Can we put our hands together, please? And His Excellency, Patrick Ekwotu, former Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State. He's also here. Can we put our hands together? Thank you, sir. For those of you who are putting your hands together, thank you. Please put your hands together again. Aha. This side of the hall, you're all quiet. Please, can you put your hands together for the Forum of Deputy Governors? Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Our keynote address will be taken by a very special person. Professor Tanko Ishaya is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, a place I dreamt to further my education. Unfortunately, I couldn't. Lagos State said I must go to Akokite. Hello, greatest Akokite. So Professor Tanko Ishaya will be giving us the keynote address. I'm trying to get a bit of his profile. Apart from being the VC of University of Jos, I am also told he's a tech and innovation advocate. Thank you very much, sir. I wanted to say more. Should I continue? I should wait. Please, let's put our hands together for our keynote address, Professor Tanko Ishaya.
Thank you very much, MC. The chairman of this occasion, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, the former Senate President, and the co-chair who has just left, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, who is here ably represented by the Deputy Governor. Let me, on behalf of all the professors, congratulate the Executive Governor of Borno State for receiving an award of innovation. I think you should tell him that we are all proud of him, and we are proud of what he's doing in the state. That is what it takes to be a professor and to be a leader. Congratulations, thank you. Your Excellency, the National Chairman, Dr. Chris, Aloze Akomas, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, my colleagues, Vice Chancellors that are here present, professors, ladies and gentlemen, let me stand behind or hide behind an excellent protocol that has already been established, and to go straight to deliver my keynote address. Even though, like I was just saying, sharing that His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, has already delivered a keynote address. I'm probably just here to, to have a further conversation on the keynote address that His Excellency has delivered. It is indeed with both an honor and privilege that I stand before this gathering of distinguished, eminent statesmen and women, seasoned administrators, and patriotic Nigerians whose service to our nation continues to shape its democratic and developmental journey. I thank the forum sincerely for inviting me to share thoughts on the topic that goes to the heart of Nigeria's economic transformation, which is Nigeria's productive capacity for national growth and self-reliance, the role of leadership, industry, innovation in policy implementation. I believe also that the sub-themes are very apt and engaging. Your Excellencies, this subject is timely, visionary, and necessary because it compels us to look beyond the rhetorics and focus on the mechanisms that will enable Nigeria to achieve sustainable growth, inclusive prosperity, and genuine self-reliance. A sound productive capacity is not just an economic matter, but an inevitable ingredient of democratic governance. Success story of any regime revolves around the productive capacity of the country. The ability to manage available resources for the upliftment of its citizens' standard of living and the dignity of the country in the Committee of Sovereign Nations. Let us therefore remind ourselves what productive capacity is all about. On a general note, productive capacity of a nation is the highest sum of goods and services that the national economy can conveniently produce at full and efficient employment of its total resources, and so on and so forth. In other words, productive capacity is the overall potential output in relation to the factors of production. This includes labor, capital, entrepreneurship, technology, and of course, its natural resources. Your Excellencies, there's no debate on the abundance of resources available in Nigeria. There's no local government in Nigeria that is currently lacking in resources that will assist in the building of a strong nation with a sustainable economy. The task before us is how to boost the productive capacity and make Nigeria great. The strength of every nation depends on its productive capacity, no doubt. The ability to generate goods, services, ideas, and technology that meet domestic needs and contribute to global value chain. So there's two things here. When His Excellency emphasized on the local aspect of it, but also we need to contribute to the global value chain. It is not merely about having resources. It is about having the capacity and the discipline to transform those resources into wealth and well-being. For Nigeria, productive capacity must be anchored into three very important aspects. Number one is our youthful population, which is both a challenge and also an opportunity. Number two is on our vast natural resources. You will see them abound from agriculture to solid mineral resources. And number three, the growing intellectual and technological capacity, especially within our universities and, of course, innovation hubs. Productive capacity is dynamic and driven by socioeconomic factors, some of which include the following. Number one, the human capital. This is the ability of available workforce to put into action all acquired expertise, knowledge and experience obtained through formal and informal education, apprenticeship and training. The role of educational institutions is curriculum and sensitivity to both the local and, of course, the global challenge is very key. Number two is the physical capital. We are in the digital age. No nation can play down the role of technology in fostering productive capacity. The graduation, and of course, what we have seen to season of intelligence is a window for optimization of the nation's productive capacity and resources. The University of Jos is not taking this challenge for granted. We are in the process of establishing a world-class center of artificial intelligence to foster productive production capacity and make us relevant in this dynamic society. The country is in need of all kinds of state-of-the-art equipment, machinery, tools, and functional infrastructure to enhance physical capacity needed for our desired productive capacity. Number three is policy making. Productive capacity is a function of public policy making. The state of the nation's nation's productive capacity will be reflected in some key socio-economic and political policies. This is more visible in monetary policies, such as the interest rate, regulation of fiscal policy, and review of investments in both private and public sectors. Number 4, business strategy. Productive capacity of countries is now technically regulated by the private sector. In most cases, the strategies deployed by the private sector gives a path to what the government will do and decisions to be taken in addressing some of the emerging challenges. Number 5 is that of inflation management. The principle of supply and demand have a direct impact on the productive capacity. When resources become scarce, prices are tended to rise. The rise in prices breeds inflation, which must be managed through policy making, cost monitoring. So what are some of the methods of increasing productive capacity? It is a common administrative practice to put in place policies that will increase productive capacity. And of course, just like His Excellency rightly said, we have all the policies. No government is satisfied with a stagnated productive capacity. Long-term and short-term mechanisms are always designed to ensure increasing capacity, productive capacity. While working out strategies for increasing productive capacity in a nation's economy, both the public and the private sectors are always made the point of reference. Economic and political considerations are always critically examined as it affects the private and the public sectors. Globally, most countries' economy is private sector driven, while the public sector serves more like a shadow of the general economy. In this case, we see policies that are of short term, meant to solve some temporary or emerging issues, mitigating against productive capacity of that particular country. This may be maybe the removal of certain tariffs or increasing the tariffs. It may be the tax holiday or ban on certain items in order to allow home products grow with minimal competition. And that is to emphasize the point that His Excellency, distinguished Senator Ayim Pius Ayim has earlier mentioned. Increase in wages, labor-friendly policies, and protection of the weak will promote productive capacity of the country. The comparative advantage production, the country fosters productive capacity by allowing specialization and comparative advantage. This can be done within the country, allowing localities grow their own special products. This may also be extended into international cross-border, allowing people produce what is cheaper and buy what it is produced at a more lower rate. The use of technology is very important. In this regard, adequate and modern technology deserves total attention. The government should embark on policies that will make our productive capacity be driven by technology. Obsolete machineries cannot help promote productive capacity in any given nation. Partnerships, assembly plants, equipment of higher institutions with relevant technology-based equipment are part of the drastic steps government may take at an interim basis, but will have long-term effect on the national productive capacity. Gone are the era of cash and food crops. Every crop is now cash crop. There's no local government in Nigeria without abundance of natural resource in commercial volume. Inasmuch as it is very important that we partner with skilled organizations outside the country to get the best of these resources, we must not look down on the capacity of the local and the traditional initiatives. To make the best use of our national resources in enhancing productive capacity in our university, for example, and many universities, every category of students take compulsory courses in entrepreneurship, information and communication technology. We did not stop at that. We now have most of the universities now have centers of entrepreneurship, and also the National Universities Commission run degree programs in entrepreneurship. Cybersecurity, public administration, and several other courses that will promote productive capacity at both public and private sectors are those that we are supposed to concentrate on. As far as institutions is concerned, government institutions must rise to the challenge of present-day realities. The institutions should not stick to laws and acts that are no longer useful to the present needs. Government institutions should lead the crusade for a progressive, productive capacity instead of allowing the private sector to dictate completely the tune. A productive institution will bring a new dawn, era of productivity, discipline, stability, and socio-economic transformation. This dawn is what we refer to as the national growth. And national growth, of course, is a plain language. It's an increase in the quality and quantity of goods and services produced by the nation's economy. This is usually measured by the country's gross domestic product. It involves the expansion of the economy through measures such as tax reform, government investment, and international collaborations. Growth in any country is very important for the upliftment of the citizens' welfare as it translates into socio-economic transformation of that particular nation. Let's now look at some of the steps, because we are talking about national growth, some of the steps for national growth and self-reliance. There are several steps a nation can take to attain national growth through productive capacity. In practical terms, a nation like our beloved country and other countries within our socio-economic status may consider the following strategies. Number one, enlarge economic costs. We are to systematically open up every avenue that will increase our capacity to expand goods and services, but both for local and international consumption. We should engage our institutions to identify what can boost our economy, new areas of activities, and the demands at home, and of course, what are the demands internationally. We need to consciously adopt measures that inflation will adjust the country's gross domestic product over certain targeted periods. We need think tanks and strategic actions. There are several agencies and institutions with the capacity to prepare policy papers and working documents that will guide the government to embark on policies and programs that will foster good governance. There should also be a focus on digital revolution. Nigeria is very ripe for massive digital governance. We will agree, Your Excellencies, with me that the present government is taking bold steps to enhance digital government. Our investment in digital technology is the master key for growth and development of the country. We must at every level make technological advancement our driving force. The universities, especially our university, have taken several steps in promoting technology through applicable steps. These are visible in our Center of Food Security, in our Center of Excellence in Food Security, Centers of Excellence in Phytomedicine Research and Development, centers in the College of Medical Sciences, and so on and so forth. Promoting and, of course, investing in digital technology and innovation is also seen as a key driver of national growth and development. There's also, of course, the legacy of continuity. Legislation that will ensure continuity of lasting programs and policies should be put in place with provisions that will include compliance. Policy should not be regime-based. It should outlast the regimes. Review of policies and programs should not be a political agenda, but a national agenda. Your Excellencies, I will not preempt our erudite scholars who are fully prepared to take us through 5 impactful sessions. However, let us remind ourselves of the Nigerians' recent gross domestic product economic growth. Nigerians' GDP grew by only 4.23% in the second quarter of 2025, which is the fastest rate in 4 years. However, for the third quarter, we experienced a slow projection of 3.9%. This came to be simply probably because of the delayed efforts of some monetary policies that are easing instability in capital flow and also that of oil prices. The good news, however, is that other economic indicators present a positive environment, such as the decline in inflation and the recovery of services and non-oil sectors. National self-reliance. Your Excellencies, self-reliance does not mean isolation from global trade or technology. It means resilience. The ability to depend primarily on our internal strength, and that we are able to add value to our exports and reduce dependency in imported goods and foreign exports. Yet, despite our abundant resources, personnel, and institutions that will put into use all the potentials in them, and government willingness to creating a sense of belonging with equal opportunities. This was against any form of external aggression, with more emphasis on cross-border operations rather than internal. National pride is what we have as human resource. Natural resources and value systems should be promoted and protected to institutionalize sense of belonging and, of course, encourage local skills and local development. Last but not the least, we should totally value our local resources. And again, this is an emphasis on what His Excellency earlier said. We must cherish our products above imported products, promote exports above imports, and create avenue of national pride. So what is therefore the role of leadership in national productivity? We have already extracted issues around boosting productive capacity. There is absolutely no doubt that we can only advance with the right leadership. It is a common practice to blame leaders for any negative development and claim credit for things that are working well. A leader with adequate knowledge of national economy, what the citizens need, and how to move the country forward is highly needed to enhance productive capacity of our nation. Leadership remains the single most critical factor in determining a nation's productive trajectory. History teaches us that nations rise or decline not because of what they have, but because of what their leaders do with what they have. Nigeria has never lacked good ideas and has never lacked good policies. From Vision 2020 and economic recovery and and Growth Plan, and now the renewed Hope Agenda. However, many of these initiatives have suffered from weak implementation, fragmented coordination, and in some cases, lack of continuity from one policy to another. In national leadership, every leader has the potential to boost the economy, as there are citizens in all sectors of the society, experts, and very knowledgeable in various areas of specializations. Without parochial sentiments, a good leader will scout or shop for who can support the country, not primarily his administration as a whole. Develop a feedback strategy that will keep them above every situation. This means that the leader must be teachable, learning new facts, professional. The leadership should devote resources for training and research into traditions that are not productive. Regular updates from various sectors, and also interact with organizations with similar productive interests for collaboration and protection of the collective interest. The need to have legislative backing productive capacity is very important. The laws may be amended based on emerging trends and on profit. Governance continuity. Before us, a shortage of blueprints, a productive in a climate leadership lacks moral authority. Is compromise. Your always bear in mind these are the industry converts ideas and policies into tangible outcomes. Industry converts ideas and policies into tangible outcomes. However, Nigeria's industrial base has remained fragile for decades, undermined by erratic power supply, in some cases, infrastructural decay, limited access to credit, and weak linkages between research and development. Industries, therefore, have a key role to play in boosting productive capacity in any given country. Let us quickly look at just 5 essential ways industries can boost productive capacity. Number 1, identifying dependable source of raw materials. Industry should be able to identify and sustain a dependable source of raw materials needed for consistent quality production. This will make production chains to be regular and minimize search for alternatives and unstable price, which may force production to stop. Number 2, humane and reliable conditions of service for the workers. This will eliminate rapid migration of workers We have now seen the JAPA, we are actually on the JAPA syndrome, where we see a lot of workers from various areas actually moving away, and industrial disputes. Hence, productivity will be steady and increase. Job security is very important in boosting productivity. Workers should have hope that they can build a career in their workplace if productivity is to be properly boosted. Number 3, consumer-friendly products and cost is very important, and innovation in the products, as consumers will give accurate information on the need for improvement. Interaction with government for such an innovation in the products, as consumers will give accurate information on the need for improvement. Interaction with government for certain support or concessions that will protect the industry against foreign competition. This will keep the industry alive against the tyranny of big industries, who may be enjoying government backing against the local industries. Number 5, cost of production and selling prices of products must be in agreement if the industry want to remain in business and boost production. Specifically, we must redefine industrial policy around productivity and inclusion. We must empower small and medium-scale enterprises, which account for more than 80% of employment in our country. We must reinvigorate manufacturing, particularly in agro-processing, textile, and light industries, to substitute imports and also, of course, boost exports. We must create industrial clusters and special economic zones where innovation and production can thrive under shared infrastructure. And of course, we need to strengthen partnership between the universities, polytechnics, and other institutions and industry. We must work within the context of the triple helix to bridge the gap between research and also that of commercialization. A strong industrial base ensures that our raw materials from cassava to cocoa to lithium and crude oil are refined into products that generate jobs, foreign exchange, and of course, technological know-how. Without industries, leadership's vision remains abstract. With it, policy becomes production. On the issue of innovation, of course, innovation is the catalyst of modern productivity. Innovation is the lifeblood of the 21st century in economies. It is what differentiates nations that are merely resource-rich from those that are knowledge-rich. Innovation is not just about technology. It is about creative problem-solving, using science, entrepreneurship, digital tools to address local challenges. In agriculture, for instance, it means precise farming and agri-tech. In health, it means telemedicine and biotech. In governance, it means digital records, e-payments, and data-driven decision-making policies, decision-making in general. Nigeria must deliberately invest in the innovation ecosystem by funding research and development in universities and research institutions, by protecting the intellectual property to reward creativity in those institutions, by establishing innovation and technology parks linked to university and industry, and of course encouraging youth entrepreneurship through targeted grants, mentorship, and of course incubation. Our young people are Nigerians' greatest untapped asset. With the right support, they can become creators, they can become innovators, and global competitors. Leadership must therefore create an environment where innovation is rewarded but not stifled. We have seen in most cases where innovation actually in this country, rather than being supported, but it's actually tripled. Policy implementation, which is actually the missing link. Our problem, as many of us know from experience, has never been the policy scarcity, but policy inconsistency. And of course, in some cases, poor execution of such policies. We need effective policy implementation. Effective policy implementation requires institutional discipline, accountability mechanisms, and stakeholder inclusion. So how can we strengthen productive capacity? And what is the way forward? I think before I make my conclusion, I just thought that we should have thoughts around these areas. To build a truly productive and self-reliant Nigeria, we must consider the following, strategic priorities. Number one, we need to diversify the economy through agro-industrialization, solid minerals, and of course, digital economy. Number two, we need to invest massively in human capital, education, health, and skills development, particularly through revitalized TVET institutions, is core. We need to reform infrastructure, especially energy, transport, and broadband connectivity, to reduce production costs. We need to promote local content and technology transfer through incentives and protection of indigenous industries. We need to empower youth and women as drivers of innovation and entrepreneurship. We need to institutionalize performance management in public service to ensure accountability in policy delivery. These steps, pursued with sincerity and consistency, will not only expand our productive base, but also strengthen national cohesion and, of course, national reliance. In conclusion, leadership should be for self-reliant future. Your Excellencies, the former deputy governors, you have all been part of Nigeria's journey, a journey of promise, a journey of progress, and persistent challenge, unfortunately. But we must look forward. Nigeria stands today at a crossroad. We can continue to manage poverty, or we can create prosperity through productivity. We can keep recycling plans, or we can implement them with courage and discipline. True self-reliance will not come from protectionism, but from production, from value creation, innovation, and responsible leadership that translates policy into progress. The call to action, therefore, is clear. Let leadership inspire productivity. Let industry drive innovation. Let policy translate vision into measurable outcomes. If we align these three forces, leadership, industry, and innovation, Nigeria will not only achieve national growth, but also secure a future built on dignity, creativity, and self-sufficiency. Your Excellencies, I have briefly laid the foundation of what we are going to expect from our speakers and various panels. And like I said earlier before I started, I'm just here to discuss further the keynote address that His Excellency earlier on presented. My submission is that we have what it takes to boost productive capacity in Nigeria. This is not just the task of government, but a task for everybody. Let this forum, rich with wisdom and experience, continue to be a voice of principled leadership, sound economic vision, and effective governance in our beloved country. I want to note with a sense of appreciation and gratitude to our university, the University of Jos, that is very, very well represented and active in this noble forum. All the former deputy governors, from Nasarawa State, Edo, I can see him there, and so on, alumnus, great alumnus of the University of Jos. But for Professor Onje Yewado, who is a professor of law, a former deputy governor of Nasarawa State, is still a professor in Plateau State. Let me, and of course for them, Pauline Talen, who was a product and a former honorable minister, while late Professor Sonny Theoden was a professor of political science who was a deputy governor, was also a vice chancellor of the great University of Jos. On this note, the University of Jos will always give you all needed support to actualize the goals of fostering good governance and leadership in this country. Let me use this opportunity with the permission of the chairman and that in few days' time, the University of Jos will be hosting all Nigerian students for the Nuga Games 2025 from November 6th to 16th. I'm therefore standing here to officially invite all of you to join us as we celebrate also the University of Jos at 50. Okay. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. I'm privileged. May God bless you. Thank you.
Please, let's appreciate Professor Tanko Ishaya, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, once again. Thank you, Professor. You have raised some thought-provoking issues, one of which you have asked that we begin to diversify. And I know that we have started diversifying our economy long before now. If not, Governor Umar Zulum of Borno State would not go home today with an award because he has been diversifying. But that brings me to one thing that I think Thank you, sir. So one capacity that I think that needs to be developed is leadership integrity. And in that way, I align my thoughts with Dr. Goke Adegoroye. I didn't get to read his book. He launched recently, The Nigeria Civil Service, 5 Decades Experience. But I had opportunity to read some of the reviews. And he said that his mission, his ministry, is to advocate leadership integrity. And I'm glad to say that we do have Dr. Goke in our midst today. Dr. Goke Adegoroye, are you here? Thank you, sir. Please, let's put our hands together. I'm very happy that he's in our midst today because his ministry is advocating leadership integrity. Dr. Adegoroye, am I right? All right, thank you very much, sir. So the next session will be steered by the moderator for this session will be Professor Uche Waleke. He's, of course, Nigeria's first professor of capital market, a widely respected economic analyst, who is widely sought after, and his analysis have made him one of Nigeria's most trusted voices in Nigeria's economic space. Let's put our hands together for the moderator of this session. Thank you very much. I'll quickly read out the panelists. Professor Adeyi Ademola. Professor Adeyi Ademola is a professor of governance, identity politics and development communication at the University of Jos. He's Professor Ademola, are you here? Please let's put our hands together. He is known for his clarity of thought, decades of impactful scholarship. He remains a guiding light in academia and public service. And let me also welcome Dr. Goke Adegoroye, who is a seasoned administrator, former DG Bureau of Public Service Reforms, one of Nigeria's most authoritative voices in public sector transformation and sustainable governance frameworks. Like I said earlier on, his main ministry is advocating leadership integrity. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Goke Adegoroye. Ambassador designate Michael Pisan, Embassy of Poland in Abuja, is also here. He represents the Embassy of Poland, brings wealth of diplomatic experience, and of course, he has a very strong commitment to strengthening bilateral ties and educating exchange between Poland and Nigeria. Thank you very much, Excellency. We have Senator Professor John Abraham, Professor of International Management Studies, entrepreneur, CEO, Pilgrim Ranch Limited, first black member of the Parliament of Poland. He's also here. Let's put our hands together for him. He has a rare mix of intellect and statesmanship. He's deeply, deeply committed to translating knowledge into meaningful national progress. Thank you for coming. And last but certainly not the least, we have Dr. Alpha Yaya Kamara. Dr. Kamara is a systems agronomist and principal scientist, IITA, CGIAR program lead on land, water, and ecosystems. Please, Dr. Alpha Yaya Kamara, can we put our hands together for him? He has worked extensively on regional integration, institutional capacity, building policies, across West Africa, and of course, strengthening institutions and empowering communities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your panelists for this session, and at this point, I'd like to quickly, before I hand over the microphone to the moderator, let me quickly acknowledge His Excellency Ahmed Mohamed Getso, former Deputy Governor of Niger State, who's here with us. Please, can we put our hands together? His Excellency Mukhtar Ahmed Anka, Deputy Chairman North and former Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, is also here. Thank you very much, sir. His Excellency Ali Abubakar Jatau, former Deputy Governor of Borno State. He's also here, and of course, National Secretary. Your Excellency, I can't see you. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now hand over the microphone to Professor Uche Uwaleke.
Thank you, my sister. Your Excellencies, let me especially recognize the chairman of the occasion, former Senate President. Your Excellencies, the former governors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that lunch is served, and so we are not going to keep you long. I intend to abridge this. We are expected to do this for 45 minutes or so, but we are going to be as brief as possible so we don't keep you, we don't allow your food to get cold. Your Excellencies, we have listened to the speaker, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos. So we are here to do a deep dive on the paper, beautiful paper presented by him. As we are all aware, this administration had set for itself, or has an aspiration, to attain a $1 trillion economy by the year 2030. And in pursuit of that, it has set out an agenda, 8-point agenda, namely national security, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, education, health, diversification, and governance. 8-point agenda. And so far, in the pursuit of this 8-point agenda, one can say to a reasonable extent, we are beginning to see some level of macroeconomic stability. We are beginning to witness disinflation, consistent decline in inflation for the last 6 months. We're also beginning to witness recovery in the GDP growth rate. We had the speaker talk about 4.23% GDP growth rate in Q2 of 2025. We've also seen accretion to reserves. Today, the country's external reserves can finance over 8 months of imports at over $43 billion. We've seen, witnessed current account, surpluses, and so on and so forth. Now, as I said earlier on, we can say there is macroeconomic stability to a reasonable extent. But the real challenge is, how do we sustain it? The real challenge is, how do we boost productivity? Which is also why I think that this, the theme is very timely. How do we boost productivity? And yes, the speaker has also, of course, summarized what it is for us. But it's also important I point out that the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development has enumerated 8 components of productive capacities. 8 components of productive capacities that, if we can only focus on them, attaining the $1 trillion economy would be quite easy. And what are these components? Number 1, in no particular order, you have natural capital. That's talking about the resources that we have, agri, mineral resources, and so on. You have also human capital, to which the speaker, spoke about. The fact that Nigeria is also rich in human capital. Of course, human capital also speaks to education and health. And then you have energy. The importance of energy cannot be overemphasized. Talking about electricity, for example, and also talking about fuel. We know the situation of things in Nigeria with respect to energy. Then there is transport infrastructure, both ports, roads,